Nintendo's not exactly the usual suspect when it comes to deep and interesting storytelling. They're more the gameplay guys, or the let's innovate for the first 10 years we're around, then write off that for the rest of our career guys. However, when I played The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, I was pleasantly surprised. Not only was there a distinct lack of Zelda or Ganondorf, the series' go-to characters, which have about as much depth between them as a triangle, but there are some really interesting gameplay mechanics and themes it had to offer. The game can be summarized as this. You play as Link, who, while searching for his friend from the last game, gets ambushed by an imp going by the name Skull Kid, wearing Majora's Mask, an evil mask which grants the user huge destructive power. The imp turns you into a different species, giggles, and goes off to smash a moon into the face of the Earth, completely obliterating everyone on it. You're given exactly 3 days before the apocalypse begins to regain your form and stop it, and you can replay these 3 days as much as you want by using the Ocarina of Time to reverse time to day 1. However, doing this removes any progress you might have made during these 3 days, and you can only carry back specific stuff to help you. The game uses this mechanic to really press a sense of futility and inevitability onto you. Every time you help someone, although you might get a mask, which you can keep through time, everything you've done to help him or her will be erased each time you go back to the first day. Therefore, every time you replay the 3 days, you see people walk into the same situations that you tried so very hard to get them out of in the first place. And, even with this foreknowledge, the game often forces you not to do anything, as throughout the game, you quite literally don't have enough time to save everyone. For example, stopping an old lady from getting robbed happens at 12 o'clock on the first night, while saving a girl from alien abduction happens from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We can't save them both, we have to choose whom to save, or even if it's worth saving either at all, as the next time we go back, none of it will have ever mattered. This all symbolizes the inevitability and futility of our existence, regardless of our actions. Indeed, the location we play in is called Termina, which clearly harkens to terminal. Terminal, by definition, is the end of something, whether for an illness or for a point of time. We, like the people of Termina, are headed to a terminal point in time. This is enforced by the design of the center point of Termina, Clock Town, in which a huge clock eternally ticks. This serves to remind us that whatever we may do, time and time again, people will keep running into their fates, and whatever happiness we can create will only last for a few days. This is a powerful metaphor for life itself. Any impact we create is drowned out by a minuscule place in the universe and how much is truly going on. While we might save an old lady, at the same time a girl is being abducted. It's a perplexing, yet somehow immediately graspable feel we've all had, that our actions carry very little weight in the wider universe, or even just the world, and it forms the center point of some of the most important ontological debates that have been going on for centuries. In the game, the only things that carry with us on the journey through Termina are the masks we collect, and some essential possessions like the Ocarina. What's interesting is how the game refers to the masks when you talk to the mask salesman, a mysterious man who requests you recover Majora's Mask from Skull Kid, who stole it in the first place. He refers to the mask you carry as embodying certain emotions, whether happiness, grief, or fear. Symbolically, this shows the only thing we can carry with us through time are the emotions and captured memories we create along the way, while the world around us remains pretty much unchangeable. This hardly seems comforting, but at least lends tangibility to our own identity. But what happens to these emotions after we die? Each of the major masks in the game has Link taking on the form of someone that has died. With these masks, friends and relatives of the person that was once alive treat you like that person. What on the surface seems like another gameplay mechanic turns into a very powerful metaphor. That is, after we die, even our very identities cease to belong to us. This becomes even more important when we consider our own role in the experience of the game. We ourselves put on the mask of Link to save Termina, and, in a way, we own Link's identity. Thus, time, and indeed death, are so threatening to us because they threaten to end the only things that we ever truly own, our emotions tailored to our experiences. Skull Kid, the villain of the game, embodies the despair that comes with this futility. Unlike Ganondorf, he's not an incarnation of evil, but just a kid that refused to grow up. The four giants who you seek out in the course of the game to help stop the moon crashing were childhood friends of this imp, but when they separated to guard the people, as was their fate as adults, Skull Kid refused to accept it. He caused grief to get their attention, like a child, and when the giants threatened him with destruction, felt betrayed, hurt, and alone. This is what drives him to destroy Termina. feeling alone and inconsequential. Skull Kid doesn't really want people to die, he simply wants his actions to be heard, like all of us. In the final stage of the game, we actually enter the moon, where we seem to enter the childhood of Skull Kid and the Giants. The skies are blue and grass is brilliantly green. The rich colour palette used here is clearly meant to represent an overly idyllic way of looking at childhood, and this suggests to me that we are not in the moon, but rather in the collective conscious of Skull Kid and the Giants. When we interact with the Giants, we see them questioning their future decision to guard the land and protect the people. Look at what each one says to us. The first Giant asks about who our friends are, and whether we are their friends too. The second asks about the nature of happiness, and whether happiness can ever be created universally. The third asks about the nature of justice, and whether what is right can make everyone happy. The fourth, most ominously, asks whether our identity is real at all, or whether we are just masks behind masks per se. All of these questions pertain to the nature of identity, and how the right path is always unclear. It asks whether we are real at all, or just masks which are puppeteered to where fate needs us to be. This is especially symbolic to us, the players, as we are being puppeteered to the next set piece in every event. After all, we obviously have no say in how the game progresses, and it becomes clear why the giant children are asking these questions when we understand their backstory. They know their paths will lead them to separate, and to hurt Skull Kid, although they do not want to, so they question who they are and how they can moralize themselves into doing the act. However, crucially, by doing this process, they are maturing, accepting the hand of fate in their lives. Skull Kid, on the other hand, denies fate, instead asking to play a game of good versus bad, where you are bad. This is highly symbolic. It shows Skull Kid's immaturity. He identifies only with the most childish versions of morality, good guy against bad guy. He wants to have the simple identity of the good guy, and to know he is taking the right path without thinking, without accepting the inevitabilities of fate. His inability to grow up, however, stops him from asking the important questions, and ultimately only causing chaos for the world. So, where does this leave us? Do we embrace our futility in trying to control the universe and end up changing nothing? Or do we fight destiny and end up only causing chaos? The only thing Majora's Mask leaves us with are the masks we have collected on our journey, the memories and experience that hold the happiness we created. Perhaps collecting the most happiness we can inside of us is the way forward. We don't know. Inevitably, we have to choose. We have to choose who our friends are, we have to choose how to create happiness, we have to choose what is right, and we have to choose which mask to put on for everyone to see, even if we are already wearing one and just don't know it.